We're here at Qumran, site of the Dead Sea community. You can see the settlement behind us, and in a moment you'll see the mountains up in the hills behind where the caves are located, where the Dead Sea Scrolls were. So this site was occupied in the 1st century BC through the 1st century AD till it was destroyed by the Romans in AD 68. And it was a Jewish religious community. Some people think they were Essenes, some people don't. They called themselves the Yahud, and they were the ones who authored the Dead Sea Scrolls, a collection of biblical and non-biblical manuscripts, and we'll show you the caves in a moment. And here's the cave where the Dead Sea Scrolls were located. So the people in the community, when the Romans were coming, hid all of their scrolls in pots and put them in the caves. There's actually several caves around here. This is just one of them that you can see there. And they hid all of their scrolls, and then the Romans destroyed the settlement, so the people never came back. This is the Judean desert. We're at sea level on our way down to the Dead Sea. Over on the other side we can see the Dead Sea. Lowest point on Earth. We're up on the top of Masada, the plateau that was defended by the Jews in the Great Jewish Revolt, finally captured by the Romans in AD 73. And all of the defenders here committed suicide rather than surrender to the Romans. There were only a few people that hid themselves rather than do that. It's an amazing spot. There's just this huge plateau with all these fortifications on top of it. You come up in a cable car. You can walk up if you're insane, I think, basically. But this time of year, because it's very hot, they always have that closed. But originally it was fortified by King Herod as a sort of a hideout for his family if the things went wrong for him in Jerusalem. And on one occasion at least, he brought his family, had to send his family down here while he went back to Rome to plead for his kingdom. And then in the Jewish revolt, it was actually occupied by a group of zealots led by a man named Eleazar ben Yair. And they held out, as I say, till AD 73 or 74. Historians keep arguing about the exact date, when the Romans built the ramp, which you'll see on the other side of the plateau. So yeah, it's incredible spot. You can see the Dead Sea over there behind me, and just an amazing view from up here. But you can also see why it was chosen as a fortress, just such an easily defendable place. Here's the remains of the Roman ramp. You can see the legionary encampment on the hill there, and the wall that they built around the fortress. So when the Romans came here to besiege Masada in 72 AD, They built a massive ramp to break in. This is the breaching point where they finally were able to break in. But of course, when they did break in, they found that all the defenders had killed themselves the night before, knowing that if they stayed, then they would surrender to the Romans or be killed. So they preferred to take their own lives. So back over here, as I said before, we can zoom. Oops, sorry. There we can see the camp of some of the Roman soldiers. There was the 10th Legion, 10 Fretensis, commanded by Flavius Silva, as Josephus, the Jewish historian, records, that besieged Masada and finally broke in either AD 73 or 74, only to find that all the defenders had killed themselves. This is the lower terrace of Herod's palace in Masada. Still see a lot of the paintwork that would have decorated the palace originally. And then over here we've got an amazing view over toward the Dead Sea. Well, here I am floating in the Dead Sea. The water's very warm, but it's cooler than out there, which is really, really hot.